So, hello, Alex. How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm doing well. And you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
So, one of the questions that you have is, should you imitate native English speakers in an effort to reduce your accent? On one hand, I would say yes, and then the other, I'm going to say, is when you get your pronunciation down, I think your accent is going to be fine. But it's when you're pronouncing your words, for example, your ed words, you still have a huge difficulty with those. You'll say bucketed, and the way that you're going to correct that, it could be by mimicking what you hear other people say, but different people are going to sound different. You can mimic me, but I would say when you start to mimic, you might want to mimic maybe the male's voice of saying it, because it clearly comes out hopefully a little more feminine, a little more softer than what you would want to do as a male. But the pronunciation of the words, let's say, for example, say, I went to the movies. No, I booked a flight to go to the US. Say that. Let me hear you say.
I booked a flight to go to the US.
Okay. So do you hear yourself saying book it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So that is what, that's not what I'm saying. I said I booked.
I booked. I booked.
Mhm. So when you start to recognize what sounds you're having difficulty with, which are the one is ed. So I'm saying now you can start thinking about, okay, whenever I'm using the ed, and there are more ed words that are ending with booked than something else. So even if you pronounce the ones that are not booked incorrectly, it would be better than the ones calling all of them booked.
Hmm.
Okay. So when you're reading, take a pencil or a pen or a marker and circle the ed words. Then you do intentional reading, focus reading, not so much for understanding of what you're reading, but for pronunciation. You're doing that solely for pronunciation. Let me give you, let's see if we can find an example. I'll just pick something. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. And I'll share my screen. But the person that was speaking to you isn't necessarily giving you incorrect advice
Hmm.
either. Uh, so let's go to Gmail. Hmm, I don't know that this article will have ET words in it, but we'll take a look. And I'll listen very carefully to all of the sounds in this article and give you feedback on that. Okay, let's go to, all right. This is an interesting article. This one is about a bomb detecting rat.
Hmm.
That's an interesting title. So let's see. Do you see the screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Let's go here, here. Now, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, now I can see.
Okay, so here we have a bomb detecting rat wins medal for bravery. Let me just quickly see if I see any ED words in here. Hmm, not yet, but I think you understand when I say the ED words, right?
Hmm. Yes.
And can you believe I don't see a single, yep, there's one. What is this word?
Where okay, presented. Presented.
Yeah, and then, I said most of the words would have the t sound. This one has the d sound, presented.
Presented.
Yeah. All right, let's just read it, and there will be some other sounds that I'll pick up as you read.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go through the article that we had last night. All right.
Hmm. Okay. Bomb detecting rat wins medal for bravery. A rat has been given a
So let's stop for a moment.
okay.
There's a sound that you're making just before you get ready to speak. Uh, just do not speak until you're ready to say the word. A rat has been given a distinguished award. Oh, there's an ED word.
Yeah. Distinguished. Yes.
I start with a rat.
A rat has been given a distinguished award for bravery.
Okay, now in front of that, it is a award, award, award.
Award, award, a distinguished award for bravery for his service to
Okay,
you,
services has an S on the end.
mm, for his services to humanity.
Humanity. All right, so now let's try this, read this way. Just say what you hear me say. A rat
A rat
has been
has been
given
given
a distinguished
a distinguished
award
award
for bravery
for bravery
for his
for his
services
services
to humanity.
to humanity.
The valiant
The valiant
rodent
rodent
is called
is called
Magawa.
Agawa.
He was
He was
awarded
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 a gold
a gold
medal
medal
for his
for his
7 years
7 years
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 of duty
of duty
sniffing
sniffing
out
out
dozens
dozens
of landmines
of landmines
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 in Cambodia.
in Cambodia.
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 He was
He was
bestowed
bestowed
the award
the award
by the People's
by the People's
Dispensary
Dispensary
for Sick Animals
for Sick Animals
Charity.
Charity.
This is
This is
a veterinary
a veterinary
charity
charity
based
based based
in the United
United no
King-
in,
that was good.
United
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 Kingdom.
Kingdom.
I'm not sure where I got my call. The charity
And the charity
explained
explained
why Magawa
why Magawa
was recognized
was recognized
for his courage.
for his courage.
It wrote
It wrote
the PDSA
the PDSA
seeks to raise
seeks to raise
the status
the status
of animals
of animals
in society
in society
and honor
and honor
the incredible
the incredible
contribution
contribution no,
they make
they make
to our lives.
to our lives.
Magawa's
Magawa's
dedication,
dedication,
skill,
skill,
and bravery
and bravery
are
are
an extraordinary
an extraordinary
example
example
of this
of this
and deserve
and deserve
the highest
the highest
possible
possible
recognition.
recognition.
Magawa
Magawa
is an
is an
African giant
African giant
pouched rat.
pouched rat.
Pouched.
Pouched rat.
He was
He was
used
used
in the
in the
mind clearing
mine clearing
program
program
because rats
because rats
are the creatures
are the creatures
best suited
that suit that
suited
suit that
to safely
to safely
detect
detect
land mines.
landmines.
They are light
They are light
and have a
and have a key no sorry they have a
keen sense
keen sense
of smell.
of smell.
In his
In his
7 year,
7 year
7 year
7 year
year.
year
Okay, so we need to look at year, the
e- year
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 stint
stands
on the
on the
front line.
front line.
Magawa
Magawa
helped
helped
to detect
to, to detect
39
39
landmines,
landmines
landmines,
landmines
and 28
and 28
unexploded,
one exploded
unexploded.
unexploded
So it's going to be un,
uh,
unexploded
unexploded
devices.
devices.
He helped
He helped
to clear
to clear
more than
more than
141,000
141,000 oh
141,000
sorry 141,000
141,000
141,000
square meters,
square meters meters
of land,
of land,
an area
an area
roughly,
roughly
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 the size of
the size of
20 soccer pitches.
20 soccer pitches.
This makes him
This makes him
the most successful,
the most successful,
I need to hear the T at the end, most
the most successful
rodent,
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 int,
and rodent
good, in the history
in the history
of landmine
of landmine
detection,
detection.
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 The charity's chairman
The charity's chairman
said,
said,
this is
This is,
This is
this is,
the, the, this
the, this, this.
is
This is
the
the
very first time
very first time
in our 77-year
in our 7-7-year
history
history
of honoring
of honoring
animals
animals
that we have
that we have
presented
presented
a medal
medal
to a rat.
to a rat.
Reporters tried
Reporters tried
to interview
to interview
Magawa,
Magawa,
but
but
he was
he was
unavailable
unavailable
for
for
comment.
comment.
All right, so we weren't reading this for comprehension, but I have read this several times today. Did you understand what you read?
So because I put my attention in the pronunciation.
And that's what I wanted you to do. So we're just focusing on pronunciation. There were more ED words in here than I had even imagined that there
Yes.
were. So that was good. Now let's take a look at uh, yesterday's assignment that we did in class. Mm. So yesterday, these are the things that you basically were saying. You said, Happy Teacher's Day and happy birthday to you, because I know the last week was your birthday. God
Yes.
bless you. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. You know, I'm talking too, so it's just a transcript of what's going on. We're going to talk about this book. It's U squared. That 2 higher up is U squared. So if you recall from what I read, it says that these are this is great vocabulary. Some of this is probably you saying these or this is great vocabulary in this book as well. I think you had said something about there was great vocabulary in the book. Do you remember saying that?
Mm,
That when you were listening to me read online that there was lots of great vocabulary?
mm,
Okay, so I'm just picking out things and it's clearly reflected in the way people function. They go about day-to-day striving to make incremental gains in their performance. That's pretty routine. That's the pathway of conventional growth. So what happens is that people believe that if I go to first grade, second grade, the next grade would be third, fourth. That's the incremental way of doing things, right? And if I go off to college, I get my master's, I get my doctorate degree. In theory, I should get a really good job, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way, especially in the 20th century. Someone can drop out of school today, out of high school today, be very good with it, and make just as much money as any professional person. And that is learning not in incremental steps, but making quantum leaps. That is what U squared is talking about. Now, let's take, for example, Alexandra. If you had not started practicing English a while back, it is quite possible that when this position that you are currently in would not have gone to you gone to you. Sure. So in essence, you have actually made a quantum leap. Do you understand? And you said yes. So tell me about some of the instances where you've seen this in effect, the quantum leap things, where where the quantum leap things normally would not have happened, but they have. You use your own personal experience. Maybe it's even you. I don't know. Yes, I think you when you are doing, okay, this is you speaking. Um, so I think it's probably, let's go to the video at slide at point 2.18, and we're
mm.
going to say perfectly what you want to say. Now I'm going to go to the video. YouTube.
and happy birthday, happy Teachers Day.
And so we're just trying to get to where you're talking. We won't go through the whole thing. We're just going to point out some things. 226, 226, 211. All right. Have. You're from your personal experience. Maybe it's even you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when you are doing something for not.
Okay, so you hear that I think when you're doing something okay, we want to be aware that you're doing that and start to eliminate some of those. Okay, let's go back. Your personal experience. Maybe it's even you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when you are doing something for not just a moment, you just studied for today. Some people.
You can hear that stutter that you do. So we want to. You're fine. You're fine as you're going now. I'm just pointing those out, but I'm also looking for specific words to tell you about.
You have a test tomorrow, so I will report just for today because tomorrow you have a test. I think when you have a great result, when you are put every day a little and another day some.
So one of the things that, but because I'm accustomed to hearing you, that I can hear those unnecessary sounds that you make. You want to be aware that you're making those sounds. Do you hear those unnecessary sounds?
Yes, yes, I can hear.
And when you slow down your speaking, you're trying to compensate for not having a word, but it really isn't necessary for you to speak that fast. If you listen at how I speak, I'm not speaking at a fast rate of speed, but it is consistent.
Yes.
All right, let's listen.
You study a little more and incrementally. And when you have these habits in your life, your English or whatever you wanted to learn, you have a good results. I think in this way.
And you hear and you're just say what you're going to say in your sentence, stop, and start again. I'm in the class, Adrian. I'll call you in 2 minutes. Okay.
This bookie, I don't know about
this bookie.
This bookie?
This book. It should be this book.
This book.
This. So we need to be focusing on the TH sound. This, and this book. So you're saying this book, but you said this bookie, this book.
This book. This is all the topics of this book, but I think that it could be the idea when you improve, you learning and you are improving.
You see how you're rolling out the your. Now this is what you're telling me. We were talking about. I just had the book. We were talking about this book titled U Squared. And we were talking about quantum leaps.
Yes.
It is not necessary to do things in a systematic way. But once you have that foundation, you're going to be able to take leaps to get further along. Can you tell me what I just said? Or in your own words, what did you understand about U Squared? I want you to just think about it. And when you're speaking, just speak in sentences.
Okay. It's not necessary to I say again to it's not necessary to do things incrementally, but
so there's that It's not necessary to do things incrementally. However, you will need to have your base. Say that for me. It's not necessary, it's not necessary to do things incrementally, but you do need to have a base. You need to complete the base before you can make the quantum leap.
It's not necessary to do the things incrementally, but it's necessary to have a base.
Mhm. And when you have a base, a solid base, this is when you can make that quantum leap.
And
For,
we,
for example, your previous lessons in English gave you a foundation.
hmm,
What did your previous lessons in English give you?
a foundation,
Mhm.
the basic learn.
Okay. So your basic is not you're adding additional sounds. The basic, just say the basic
The basic
foundation
foundation
provided
provided
the opportunity,
the opportunity,
the opportunity
the opportunity
to make
to make
the quantum leap,
the quantity,
leap.
the quantity,
No, the
no,
quantum
quantum, quantum,
leap.
quantum leap.
Mhm. Now, do you understand the quantum leap?
So,
Okay, so means that when you're taking a quantum leap, you're not doing systematically. You're like jumping. You're jumping ahead. You're moving ahead. But you can only jump ahead. It's like a swimming pool, the diving board. If you can't swim, should you jump off of the board?
no,
No. But if you've learned how to swim, that's your base. Now you can go to the edge of the pool and jump.
jump.
And that's the same as preparing yourself with what you've already done by building the foundation of understanding vocabulary words, practicing your English, and getting promoted to get to the next step. Your
Yes.
question is, do you need to imitate a native English speaker?
Mm,
I'm not saying that you need to imitate a native English speaker, but you need to be able to pronounce the words. When you start pronouncing the words, and I would say start small. Start with the sound of ED.
mm,
Start to pronounce those words. This is, again, building that base. And then we'll start with looking at the words that are TH words. If
yes.
you give yourself too many things to concentrate on, it will be exacerbating, frustrating, and nothing will be accomplished. So in our next lesson, I'll try to find more lessons that will focus on the use of ED and have our conversation such that you've got to overcome that sound, just as if a child has to hear something 1,002 times before they get it.
Yes.
You've got to hear it again and again. And you can make yourself a note to be aware of when you're listening to podcasts or when you're listening to other people speak, listen for the ED sound, not everything that they're trying to say. You're only focusing on the ED sound.
Okay.
That's your lesson. Now,
Okay.
when you're reading for understanding of something else, you need to read it thoroughly. If you read the daily paper, just
Okay.
continue doing that. But this would be an exercise. All right. So I hope that this was beneficial. I
Sure.
will post this and we'll talk again in your next class
Okay, Chief.
next week. Okay. Thanks
Thank
for,
you very much for your time.
oh, you're welcome. Thank you for subscribing and I appreciate you taking advantage of the challenge. Okay.
Oh, God bless you. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.
Take care.